back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. It's a Wednesday. Yes. Tony's favorite day of the week. How you doing, my friends?
I'm doing great, baby. Obviously, great Rangers win last night to recap. Stellar episode of Binge Buddies as well last night, so feeling pretty good. It's Wednesday, midweek, dude. Thanksgiving's around the corner, as well as a lot of other things, dude. So stoked to be here.
Yeah,
man.
a lot of stuff to go over. Obviously pumped about the Ranger win. What I wanted to start with first, and I won't take up too much time on this because obviously this isn't Binge Buddies, but I was mentioning to you.
Let's go, dude.
I did finish so fast last night. And I have to say, I mean, I get it, the general theme, just like a Tony Soprano would, Tony, where it's like, it doesn't matter. He'll kill anybody. I get it. But I feel like Victor didn't need to go. Like, I get what he's like, I can't have anybody that I care about. Well, like, you don't care about if you're going to kill him, so why can't you just let him go?
Yeah, I guess so. But I guess in his eyes, it was like, if I let him go, like, he knows, like, my story, knows my weaknesses.
But it's like, that's the paranoia of a gangster.
It is,
because
dude.
especially Vic. Vic was going to run for the hills if you just let him go and said, hey, Vic, if I see you, I'm going to kill you, so you better get out of here.
Oh, my God. He would be going to California with that girl, dude, probably, you know?
That's what I was thinking about, too. It's a shame. Obviously, if he had known at that time, he was going to get off.
Hindsight.
Would have done it. But I did think the whole Sophia setup was sick. That was done well.
Dude.
That was done well.
Dude, again, it just seems like, I mean, that like the Penguins character just has that like ability to always just weasel his way out of situations, dude. Like, it's incredible, dude. Like, matches up with the freaking congressman guy to get Sophia, canned. A great move, dude. Really is.
Great move, but I do have to say, and I'm sure the story continues, but I kind of, after seeing that ending, like, have a feeling that there's not going to be another season, but, like, it'll just be another movie. Is that?
See, it's actually very interesting because, I mean, I'm almost thinking, the same thing, because that last scene, you see the bat signal up there, and it probably, you would imagine maybe that's what the start of the second movie is going to be like.
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, this series about the Penguin, like they're gonna have the Batman coming to the show, and then all of a sudden, like he's kind of stealing the show, So, I guess we'll see. I'm hoping there's a season 2, but there hasn't been any word out yet.
And you think Farrell is gonna be, just due to the rigorous schedule with the suit, is gonna be demanding when it comes to the dollars and cents on this?
I mean, I would think so. At the end of the day, I suppose. I mean, that's probably what he needs. I mean, you listen to any interview with him. He's always talking about the fucking costume, the hair and makeup, 8 hours in the chair, doesn't really like it, whatever. So I would imagine he's going to want a pretty penny, yeah. But again, I mean, I don't think money's going to be an issue. It's HBO. They really don't spare many expenses, especially when it comes to a show that does well, And with something, as big as this, the Batman name attached to it, I think that they would fork over any amount of money. The Juan Soto, if you will, okay?
I kind of was actually thinking about that. But is there any plans for another movie?
Yeah, they're doing the Batman movie actually is going to be a trilogy. The second one, I think, is already in post-production, and they're going to be filming a third one shortly afterwards. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of this is going to be open-ended, and obviously to your curiosity and everyone else's, it's like where are we going with the show? Where are we going with these movies? How are they intertwining? Because the cool thing about it is that, the show takes place immediately, after the events of the first movie. So they're going to be highly connected, So,
But Farrell's not in the...
He is.
He's in the second movie.
Oh, in the second movie? Oh, I don't know. I would imagine so.
But he was in the first movie.
He was in the first movie, yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so just needed that little bit of information. But like I said, you didn't need to do it to me, Victor.
I know, dude. So freaking sad. But I mean, what are you gonna do, dude?
Yeah,
That's what makes it a great show, I guess.
Yeah, but it could have been a little better if they didn't do that.
Really? You think it'd be better if Victor was alive?
I mean, it's just like not everything needs to just slaughter everybody. Like I understand, like there's gonna be a lot of deaths, that type of movie. We get it, but I just think that one wasn't necessary. But I digress, Tony. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
Also, we were talking about this before the show too. The viral baked potato, huh?
That's right, dude. Who would have thought, man?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
People, seem very divided, on this issue, but
Naturally so. I mean, we represent the people. We are divided on this subject,
Yeah, but I feel like we're not that divided just because you even said that the mashed potatoes are the way.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the potato, very versatile food. And in my opinion, any which way you make it, I mean, it's still the potato. It's going to be good. You're making it in oil, salt, pepper, whatever. You season it well, you make it well, it's going to taste good. But I will stand by the baked potato. I enjoy
the
it.
legend of the baked potato, Tony, that's for sure. One other thing I want to mention, before we get to the comments, well, I guess technically two, but we had a pair of firings yesterday.
Yeah,
the
dude.
first one a little close to home here with the Jets, with Douglas. I mean, definitely seemed like a matter of time, but then you hear all these stories coming out, and Diana Rossini, was on DNR this morning talking about how Woody, after the Denver game, wanted to bench Rodgers, and it's just like...
Do you really think so, though?
That's what she said. I wouldn't be surprised, but you know what it made me think? It's like Woody is a worse version of Jerry. That's really what it seems like. 'Cause it seems like there's just constant meddling, constant micromanaging, and you just have to wonder if he's ever going to put the control aside and let people that are capable of turning this thing around actually do so.
So do you think, like, until Woody does that, no matter what GM, what coach they have, not really necessarily set up for success, Brian?
I mean, I guess it depends what the working relationship is. So many variables, but why is the top guy going to want to go? So it's like you're going to have to pay the GM probably record-breaking money, and then you could also do like the director of football operations or whatever, kind of over the GM, something like that. But basically, the common theme needs to be, if there's any shot of this thing being turned around, it just Woody has to get the hell out of the way.
What do you think the chances are that happens, though? Like, actually, like
I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but then again, maybe he's just delirious and is like, wow, maybe I do need to do this a different way, right? I mean, because it can't be any worse.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, again, some things that Woody has done this season that I guess maybe you haven't seen before. Obviously, the firing of Salah mid-season. Even Rex was someone to be like, hey, Woody doesn't do that. He waits till, the post-mortem reports, after the season. But obviously took care of business there. And I don't know, maybe the fact that he is trying to bench Aaron Rodgers, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I mean, if he wants to bench him, I guess maybe it's not his call, I suppose. But I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe there's steps in the right direction. Right?
I can never say that with the Jets until it actually happens, The only thing that I would say, and again, who knows, how accurate these reports are, but it seems like now there's this common sentiment that no matter what, that Rodgers isn't going to be back next year, which I mean,
like that
at least I would say is a good move.
Yeah.
Just because I do think, I mean, how would there not be drama? A top 10 pick with Rodgers. He's going to say it's not my job to mentor him and like all that stuff.
Oh my
so
gosh.
You just hope they get the right people in. But how do you have confidence that they will? You don't.
You don't have any confidence.
But I guess let's just see what happens.
And it's like, and not for nothing, it's going to be another one of these situations where it's like, okay, they draft somebody, and hey, buddy, like, congrats on being drafted. You got to be good right now, okay,
Right.
dude? Like, you got to be throwing 300-yard games right now, because like nobody is going to want, like, especially the Jets fan base, there's going to be no patience.
Right.
I mean, you listen to people calling ESPN radio, it's the Jets, fumbled the last 10 years, set the team back decades with the bad draft picks, the betting on the Rodgers here. So I don't know, it's going to be pretty interesting to see, I guess, how things unfold, in the coming weeks, in the offseason. And it is kind of wild because Rick was saying this too, how like so many teams are bad. So many teams have a bad record that like this is another year, a second year in a row, honestly, where the Jets could have had an opportunity to obviously not win the division this year, but
Make the playoffs.
make the playoffs, dude.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna.
No.
Like,
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. No, it's definitely an embarrassment. So this is a big offseason yet again. So we'll see if they can finally, hit water falling out of a boat, I guess you could say. And it was kind of ironic, just one of those things that just happens. You know how I was mentioning about Montgomery being on the hot seat. What do you know? A few hours later, relieved as of his duties as the Bruins head coach. Any surprise for you there?
I mean, I guess a little bit, I suppose. But, at the end of the day, I mean, I guess that's what they feel like the Bruins needed. I mean, I haven't been following their season closely, but obviously I know they've been, they've taken a significant step back, especially after, last season they were expecting to take that step back with a few people retiring, David Krejci being one of them, a lot of turnover, in the past few years on that roster, I guess a good amount anyway. But they were good, they were still a formidable team. And this year, now you're seeing that step back, but I guess, whatever the GM is looking at with Montgomery, I mean, they didn't really like it. So they canned him. And it's been kind of rocky. I mean, Swayman is not off to the start they expected to after the big extension. They have a significant lack of offense. You still have the normal names at the top, Marchand, Pasternak. But I think Pasternak has 20 points, maybe 21 points. So it's like, clearly the team, well, I guess the ownership believes the team was assembled correctly, but it's just, maybe implementing a different strategy to get those guys scoring more and to get some more support players in there. And they definitely have some work to do. I don't think they're not under 500 or anything, right?
8-9.
They're 8. Oh, they are under 500. Yeah. So yeah, I guess, I mean, that seems to be a move. I mean, Boston, they don't take any shit for losing, especially the Bruins. I mean, but Monty, I'm sure will get a job elsewhere.
Yeah, I would think so. But obviously, he just didn't take advantage of a great situation. I mean, you think about setting that win record and then to be here fired. Kind of crazy. A lot of comments, though. What do we got here?
Let's get to them right now, baby. So off rip, we have Michael Buckta says, Barnes. How about that guy, Dalton Connect? That guy was shooting the ball from three-point range at another level. Holy hell, he's definitely coming to Disneyland with me.
I mean, what a performance for Connect last night. 37 points for the rookie, 9 of 12 from three-point range. And, even had the Jordan Shrug out there. And
rookie record for threes in the game.
Rookie record for threes. And then also, I guess they showed his face after, like, LeBron had this, like, open court dunk or whatever, which was pretty impressive. I don't know if I've seen somebody 39 years old do that, but he just had this, like, look of, like, are you kidding? Like he just saw a ghost, honestly. Like, it was kind of crazy. So, great night for the Lakers. 7-0 at home, 10-4.
Yeah.
It's interesting if you can count on AD. Obviously, you know what LeBron brings, and then if Connect is going to be a big time player, I mean this could be a team to watch out for. And he's stepped in big shoes, Connect there, and sending Russell to the bench. Looks like it's been the right move. So good spot for the Lakers right now.
Absolutely, dude. Shout out to Michael Thief, by the way, called picking him up. Got him.
I picked him up in my other league.
Dividends.
Got him first game. This is the first game I got.
Oh, really?
Last
There
night.
we go, dude.
Literally picked up yesterday because it's this league where you can pick him up right away, start him, and just went off. So
there we go, dude.
Let's go.
And then Josh B says, "What up, fam? Hump
Josh
day.
B.
Woo woo." And then Rangers with the W, LFG, hashtag TSA, hashtag Sportsport,
Let's
hashtag
fucking go,
DTV,
Rangers.
letting us know he'll be on a Zoom meeting for the first portion of the
Corporate.
show. Boo, dude. Speaking of corporate, Kev Do, let's go. We want the smoke. Have a great day. I'm so busy. I wish I can watch. I will be popping in and out, baby. Michael Theophil, speaking of popping in and out, says, let's go, dude. Potatoes, best show out there, no questions.
Let's fucking go, Michael.
Also, he says, Dalton on our fantasy team. Let's freaking go. And he says, Colin, only good thing in the first one, Brian. Michael didn't like the first movie. I enjoyed it. I think you should watch it, which is why they made the show centered around him. But obviously, yes, Colin Farrell was great in the movie. And he is, by the way, casted for the second one. So,
you just looked that up?
I did just look that up. Batman Part 2 casted 2026, dude, at some point.
He's got to be making bank, dude.
Forget about it, dude.
Yeah. I feel like he doesn't even need to do anything else.
Oh, no, definitely not. Dude,
Yeah.
definitely not. Speaking of not doing anything else, Tommy Donovan says, yo, dude, nice dub for the blue shirts. Third line looking pretty good to me. Absolutely, Tommy. Will
No
Cooley
doubt.
having a night of his life, dude. So that's
Kako
great.
even finding the back of the net.
Kako, great job, dude. We're gonna break it down. I can't wait for that. And then Michael Buck to try to produce the show says Tony search up the castle of Disneyland. Maybe if I have time, I will, Michael.
Producer Michael.
Dalton Connect couldn't miss at all last night. We can 100% beat the Magic Barnes.
Yeah, you better believe it, Michael.
And he said he's gonna be in the starting forward lineup going forward, no doubt. He's gonna be in the starting 5, dude.
Yeah, you have to make that move. Absolutely,
have to make that move, dude.
So what I would like to do before we get to the hockey, we do have our last event of the official fall season starting tomorrow. The RSM Classic, St. Simon's Island in Georgia, and they use the Seaside and Plantation course here. And the Seaside par 70, 72 for the Plantation, so either 7,000 yards or 7,160. And of course, you know, your defending champ here, Ludwig Aubert, a tournament record, a tournament
29?
that has been held since 2010. 29 under par. It was 4 shots clear of Mackenzie Hughes, who, if it wasn't for Aubert, would have set the record himself at 25 under. So kind of interesting, scoring a plenty last year. And that's been the theme of this tournament. You look at since 2017, Svensson in 22, 19 under, Gooch in 21 at 22 under, Streb 19 under in 2020, Duncan 19 under in 2019, Charles Howell the third, 19 under in 2018, and then Austin Cook, 21 under in 2017. So a lot of big numbers, and this is a big event for the guys who are, you know, looking to hang on to their PGA Tour status, the Joel Damons of the world.
The run.
And it's not exactly, especially for a fall tournament, I think probably the best field we've really seen. I mean, you want to argue maybe the Zozo was slightly better, but some great players in this field. Obviously, it starts with the defending champion, Ludwig Aubert. But you also have Open champion Brian Harmon. You have Austin Eckroat, Sepp Straka. Number 1 in the putting world, Denny McCarthy, Davis Thompson, JT Poston, Chris Kirk, Matt McCarthy, Lucas Glover, Siwoo Kim, Adam Hadwin, Eric Cole, and Mackenzie Hughes. We'll try to give this a go once again. To see, if he can have better luck this year at taking home the first place prize. So, it's going to be interesting to see, how this plays out. And if we get one of those bubble guys, like a Joel Damon to win this tournament and really cement themselves for the upcoming PGA Tour season.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And I mean, I think this is going to be honestly a huge tournament for Aubert. I mean, I know he's, the reigning champ trying to defend the title here, but as someone who, like you said, trying to jumpstart, their season coming into, next year's tour here, I mean, he's someone who definitely needs to do that, a youthful talent who's just like, seemed like he was ready to burst on the scene, took a little step back, but again, like I'm saying, like if he sets the tone right here, gets the back-to-back under his belt, I think you're going to see some more confidence, going into some of these bigger tournaments and hopefully some wins. So I think huge tournament, huge opportunity for him specifically. So, but I guess we'll see, dude.
Yeah. And speaking of opportunity and possibly winning, Tony, what are you thinking here for a winner and a sleeper?
That is tough, dude. In terms of the odds, you think is plus 5,000 a sleeper? Not really.
Because plus 5,000, is that 50 to 1? Or no,
it's 50 to 1, isn't it?
Plus 500 would be 5 to 1. Okay, yeah, so that is a sleeper, yeah.
All right, we'll take that. Because it's not like, crazy down the line.
Right.
All right, so I guess for my winner, I will go with Ludwig Aubert. I mean, I obviously played the course really well last year. Favorited here, top world ranking golfer, and someone who, I've been watching, I've been rooting for, and like I'm saying, I think he's realizing what an opportunity this is for him to lay down some type of groundwork. Again, like you're saying too, I mean, there's some competition in the field, but obviously nowhere near what Ludwig is used to really seeing, I suppose, tournament in, tournament out. And his last tournament here looks like it was the Tour Championship here. Placed 16th. Before that, tied second at BMW. So on the cusp here. And I know I was talking about him like he didn't have a great year. Only 2 cuts the whole season, which is great. He's been playing consistently, but obviously just needs to get over that hump, of getting the wins sort of deal, right? So I guess give me Aubert here. I understand the 29-0, the course record, whatever. I think it's going to be a little bit lowering. I mean, I was looking at previous seasons, previous year winner. I think it was around 2019, maybe.
Exactly.
So I think, maybe Aubert at like a 21 under. Someone from Bridgeport's calling me right now.
The realtor?
I don't know. Maybe the realtor, dude. Regardless here, Aubert, I mean, he's got to figure it out around the green, I would say. I think looking at him this season, he's got to figure out his putts. Hopefully the freaking whatever meter. The stimp meter is pretty low for Aubert. But I say give me Aubert, as I said, 21 under. And then for a dog, give me a man from Augusta, Georgia himself, 29-year-old Grayson Sig, dude.
There we go.
Who could potentially be smoking some cigs as the winner here.
How you know he likes
at the RSM. I don't know. I would imagine. I mean, I don't know, dude. Come on. I mean, who doesn't? I know you don't. I know it's not. Whatever. But regardless, doesn't have a career win. 4 top 10 finishes, and I think at Butterfield top 10 finish. Yeah, there was one of them tied for 9th here. So been playing pretty well. Procore came in at 4th too. So as of recently, playing well. So you never know. Maybe Sig can get hot at the right time, dude.
There we go.
Plus 5,000.
There we go.
How you bet?
I am gonna go with Denny McCarthy as the winner.
Classic.
We talked about the putting, and I think in a tournament at a course that's wide open and has a ton of scoring. I mean, how do you separate yourself? You make long putts, and that's what he's capable of doing. So I like that. For Mr. McCarthy here to round out his fall season and get ready, to head to Hawaii for the Century. So I think he's our winner. I'm going to say, right in that sweet spot, let's say 21 under there. And then in terms of a dog, I'm gonna go. I know it seems a little crazy, but give me Kisner. It's been a terrible couple years, but we did see the life, last week in Bermuda, and he's trying to stave off that broadcasting career to get some more run on tour, and what a better way to do that than to get a win, and that would really change things for him. Being at 40 years old and trying to figure out, his next few years here, but that would be big for Kevin Kisner. So I'm going to say he's my sleeper. And then in terms of the coverage for this, you're going to get, your PGA Tour live coverage Thursday, Friday, 8 to 12 on ESPN Plus.
Good coverage.
Traditional broadcast, 12 to 3 on Golf Channel. And I believe that is Thursday and Friday. Same thing for the PGA Tour Live. And then over the weekend, no PGA Tour Live, 1 to 3 Saturday, 1 to 4 on Sunday to finish up this fall season. And
Very good there.
We obviously have the Tigers event, smaller field, but that's always a good time in the
Yes!
Bahamas. And then before we know it, Tony, we'll be talking about Butler Cabin at Augusta National.
Wow.
That's right, dude. I can't wait for that.
So around the corner for
coverage.
sure. And we'll see what the leaderboard brings us tomorrow. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes! McDavid shoots! Top shelf! He scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle quick! It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink wide! Made the full split save!
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
All right. So the Rangers make it three in a row last night in Vancouver, winning this game 4-3 to bring their record to 12-4-1. And I thought, this was a big win, and obviously The Canucks are down a few of their key cogs, whether you're talking about Demko, whether you're talking about Bowser, whether you're talking about JT Miller, who just stepped away for personal reasons after the show yesterday. So obviously we hope he's back on the ice soon. But, put them in a precarious situation, and they fought and they got off to a great start. And once again, and I know it had to, make you irate, Tony. We have the opposing team scoring a goal in the first minute. Quinn Hughes finding pay dirt 34 seconds in. What do you think happened on that one?
Well, I think, coming into this game, I actually was listening to Don a lot on the pregame show, which was pretty cool. But, a lot of the sentiment around the Canucks was the fact that they were missing, some of their key cogs, like you said, Brock, JT, and then even, I forget who else. I think Connor Garland had I think his wife was in labor or about to be literally they were saying he could be called away from the game to go, witness the birth of his first child. So, they're talking about a lot of the team, specifically the captain, Quinn Hughes, knowing that other people are going to have to step up. And, that's what Quinn Hughes did at the start of this game. He was flying around, dude. This was Quinn Hughes deep into the Rangers zone. I do think that this one, it was just, like I said, Quinn Hughes, very talented player, just snuck one past Igor. There's really no other way around it. But, yes, it did piss me off. It did kind of give me a feeling that this, could get kind of tough, dude, that the Rangers are going to have to battle, which they did, obviously. It's a 1-goal game here, a 1-goal victory. So, it was a tough feeling at the time, but, of course, Mika ties it up not too far after, right?
Yeah, about 2 minutes later. And also, I was just going to mention, too, it does seem like, because I was able to watch, I think there was 5 minutes left in the first period, and then I'm like, I got to go to bed.
Really?
I don't want the late night. How much did you get through, by the way?
First 2 periods.
First 2 periods,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But I think, because it seemed like they're very aggressive from the jump. So to me, I don't know about you, but I think that's a scouting report thing that our teams are noticing where they're saying, go get them right away, be aggressive, and try to score early. Don't you think that's – because I noticed that. I think that's why that keeps happening. Why does something keep happening? Because the other teams are really, making an emphasis on it. Did you kind of see that, the last few games?
Yeah, no. I definitely – I totally agree, dude.
So,
we've complained a lot about the Rangers coming out seemingly looking, flat-footed, and against a team like the Canucks, that's a great team. They're going to sniff that out. They're going to take advantage of that. I will say, though, the Rangers did do a great job in quickly turning it around. I think that goal did kind of punch them in the mouth a little bit,
Yeah, absolutely. So you'd imagine, Laviolette, like he's Penguin talking to Sophia, is going to emphasize that in practice today. But like we mentioned, Zibanejad his 4th. So good to see. It seems like he's kind of coming alive. And the Rangers need him, to go where they want to go. So that's his 4th of the year. And then, we had about 12 minutes, a little over 12 minutes. Will Cooley actually has 6 goals this season.
He's been doing great,
So that gave the Rangers a 2-1 lead. You were feeling pretty good, but just under 2.5 minutes left. Sherwood ties the game at 2. So we went into the locker room after the first period with a 2-2 hockey game. Start of the second, we get about a little over 8.5 minutes in. Capo Caco finally, finding pay dirt here. His 3rd goal of the season. So that made it 3-2 Rangers. But the Canucks do answer back here. Not even 5 minutes later, Connor Garland with his 5th of the year. So that tied the game at 3. No more goals there in the second period. So we had a 3-3 game going into the third. And about halfway through that third, so a lot of defensive, minutes here played. But who else but Chris Kreider,
Unbelievable
the
goal.
grizzled vet, his 9th of the year, gave the Rangers a 4-3 victory, and ultimately the mark that they win by here. And you look at the numbers on this, Igor 21-24, good enough. Obviously, you're playing against a decent team here. I know they're down some guys. But the offense stepped up, and that's something we've been calling for, the 4 goals at minimum. So they're able to do that. So I think, especially on a road trip, I think there's, more emphasis than ever in terms of just getting through with a win, and that's what the Rangers do here. They outshot the Canucks 33-24, which is good. They were out hit though 24-16, but the big difference, Mr. Trocheck, I'm sure playing a hand here. 45 face-offs won versus only 22 for the Canucks, so that's big. Ungats on the power play for both teams. And then really, other than that, I mean, I think a big difference too in this game, the Rangers with only 3 giveaways, while the Canucks had 14. So that's going to make a big difference there. But all in all, I mean, would you say kind of a nitty-gritty victory for the Rangers? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would say so. I mean, Canucks, I think, have one of the best penalty kills in the league right now. At like an 80% penalty kill or maybe even higher than that. I forget what the stat was, but you mentioned the face-offs won. Johnny Brodzinski being a key part of that, big face-offs winning that. Obviously, Vinny T, Mika, all doing their part. So certainly, I think the Canucks, missing JT Miller in that aspect, of winning face-offs. I would have liked to have seen the Rangers play more physical, I guess. I was mentioning the 40 hits against Seattle. Only 16 hits last night against the Canucks here. So. Yeah. Obviously, maybe they were just focusing on more so of moving the puck, recognizing the Canucks are a fast team. 33 shots on goal, you mentioned, are phenomenal. So, I mean, the stats do bode well for the Rangers. Adam Fox, 2 assists last night. He has 15 assists through the first 17 games of the year, dude. I mean, he's been in on a lot of different plays. It seems that a lot of offense, kind of flows through Adam Fox here, which is great. So, yeah, dude. And I think we're going to take a look at that goal, by the way, from Kreider. Let's see, where are we?
I was going to say, echo that too. I think it is a common theme when you think about the Rangers playing their best hockey over the past few years. Adam Fox usually at the center of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the assists. I mean, he's always been one of their top assist guys, so you love to see that.
And listen, a player like him who has, a versatile skill set, for him to understand the role and to hit that role like night in and night out, I mean, that's exactly what you want out of a key player,
New York State guy.
Absolutely,
Jericho,
dude. Jericho, dude. Where is that?
Battle of Jericho.
So we're going to be looking at this Kreider goal, which I think is like a prime example of what this Smith, Zibanejad, and Kreider line could do. And again, obviously getting the defenseman in working in here. You got Lindgren at the top of your screen here. There's going to be a couple tough cuts here to follow, but you'll see Trouba coming in here. He's going to play this puck along the boards to Mika. Mika makes a great play at this blue line, like right here. He gets the puck, like pickpocketed from him, but he sticks with it. Kreider, also great play. Gets on sides, Brian, right here. And you see that little one-touch pass right there, dude.
We haven't talked on sides all season.
Right, but look at it. I mean, at this point, the puck is on sides. Both players know that. They're on sides. Kreider grabs it. Again, great play with keeping it on sides as Mika's already into the zone. A little give and go here. Mika to Riley Smith to Kreider, and he rips one past Silov's there. And I mean, again, that's just like beautiful textbook tic-tac-toe play from your forwards, getting literally everyone on the line touched the puck at this play. It went from Lindgren to Trouba up the boards to Zibanejad, and the forwards took care of business there. I mean, just making absolute minced meat of the defense here by the Canucks. They're tight, and that's your go-ahead goal. And I mean, I wouldn't really want it any other way here. Literally can watch this goal like a million times, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's just beautiful textbook, dude.
Textbook.
It really is just phenomenal. Just phenomenal, dude.
So I mean, other than you were saying the physicality, the more hits next time out, anything else that you wanted to touch on that you could see the Rangers doing better, next time around?
I mean, don't give up a goal in the first minute, that would be definitely one, dude. I mean, I think for the most part, things we've talked about, making it a little bit harder for teams to advance to the neutral zone. I mean, they've been doing that. The defense has been tight. Will Cooley is playing some of the best hockey we've seen as of late. And I know Tommy's guy Zach Jones made a few nice plays as well. Again, on the defense, just keeping, possession of the puck, starting some type of play, getting momentum going. It starts with the defense, so you want to see that at players like Zach Jones too. So a lot of good here. Play more physical, be more ready. I mean, I don't know how else to say that other than like just figure it out. Like that first minute, I mean, you got to tighten it up there. And let's go. We're on good news too. Heedle will be playing against Calgary, I believe.
I was going to mention that. Yeah, I guess not official yet that he's going to play that game, but he will be with the team at the very least. So no concussions. So I mean, I think that's big. I think a lot further along in the rehabilitation process. Maybe than some people thought.
Oh, yeah, which is great. Because I think, especially with Heedle, too, given last season, everyone's a little bit like, when you hear him getting a little injured day to day. But it's nice to see that he's healthy, dude.
And, it's interesting, too, you mentioned about, like, don't give up the goal in the first minute. I definitely echo that. I think that would be huge because you can't do that against the better teams. You're going to put yourself in a hole early, and it's going to be tough to climb out of. But on the opposite side of things, I think, too, how about you be the team attacking early, getting aggressive early, finding the back of the net early? Because I feel like we haven't seen that too much either.
Absolutely.
So I think if they could do that, that would be outstanding to strike first. What did you think about how Igor played? Just like, okay.
Yeah, I think just like, okay. Again, I mean, he got beat by Quinn Hughes for that first goal. And then I forget who it was after that. I think maybe when they tied it up 2-2, maybe. It was the Sherwood goal he gave up. Again, that was a great play. Almost, the play was something like Kreider's goal, where it was the quick pass, Sherwood was wide open. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, we can watch that goal. Like, you watch it, and, like, Igor is set. He's down on the butterfly, but he just gets beat. Which again, I mean, listen, obviously it's really hard when you have no defender in front of you. It's one-on-one. You're on the island with yourself. You got to stop this puck. But I mean, and Sherwood, obviously great wrister, good play by him. But Igor, his stature, his level, I would expect him to make better saves. So I don't know, man. I think he played all right, like you said.
And why do you? I mean, is it just me or? Is it always like the riding the wave with Igor? Because I feel like the last couple of years, right? There's always like that tough period in time, and like second year in a row. I know it hasn't been that long of a stretch, but there's a stretch here where you feel like you're better off with Quick in that. Not overall long term, but just right at this very moment.
But it's so ridiculous, Brian. We're in the same spot as we were last year. It's the exact same thing. Like Quick is getting the starts, he's getting wins, he's shutting out teams, and Igor just seems like he's limping his way into wins.
Is he thinking contract?
I don't know.
Records?
Maybe, dude.
Is he hiring Scott Boras?
Perhaps, dude. And then you're seeing some games like this where he's giving up those goals. He's got games like he does against Buffalo where it's just like not good, But again, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's the pressure of New York, the added pressure that your backup tender seems to be a fan favorite here, the contracts, all that stuff, like you're saying, the records too, maybe in his head, but I don't know, dude. But like you said, you just gotta have to, I guess, ride this wave right now because I mean, when he's on it, it's hard to get past him.
But just hearing you say this, it seems like you're almost coming off of the whole we need him here. Like it seems like you're almost thinking about what the other side would be.
Well, of course. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable. It's always like, what's the is the grass greener on the other side, Brian, sort of deal. But I don't know. I feel like with Igor, it's not. But it's just like you're saying, it's. Like, again, we're in this situation where it's like Quick is playing really well. And, like, although it's like there's no way Quick can be an everyday goaltender right now and keep up that level of play, it does beg the question. It's like, what's going on with Igor? Why is he not looking like prime Igor right now? Is it him just regular season, maybe not as dialed in? I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out here as the season progresses and stuff like that. But I don't know, dude. I mean, again, you kind of, I mean, your hands are tied. He's not going anywhere. You gotta freaking you gotta like you said, Brian, like ride this wave, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you do gotta ride this wave.
You think that's what Brian sounds like?
No.
Yeah, you see,
Hey,
the prohibition, you see, and they want to take our cigarettes away. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. But yeah, dude. I mean, obviously, going forward here, you look at the rest of the road trip here, Michael.
Sorry.
What's happening in August?
Oregon.
Is that your girl? That
Blockbuster.
is that your girl you talking about trying to go to Australia?
We don't know.
Yeah.
Australia?
Yeah, the girl what you were talking about. The girl that you hung out with a few times last month. She's trying to get into Australia, and they don't want her in there.
Who did I hang out with last month? That's a girl. I don't hang out with any girls.
The girl you were talking about before, who's banging the 18-year-olds. Oh.
I'm sorry. I really don't know what you're talking
What do you mean, dude? We joked about this before the show. The girl was going to Australia, and they wouldn't let her in.
Billy or whatever.
Billy.
Hang out with her?
Yeah.
What were you talking about? Hawk 2 over here? I mean, come on. But yeah, Igor, get it together, all right? I mean,
yeah.
but you're not bailing yet, dude, right?
No, I was just saying that, dude. No bailing. No bailing.
But I think for the first time there is that mindset of like, well, like he's kind of got to earn it right now. Like it can't be just a choppy season like all the way through.
Yeah, no, because I think, and it's gonna be funny because there's gonna be obviously those people. I wouldn't say those people, but fans that are gonna be like, Igor does no wrong, whatever. And then there are gonna be fans that are like, oh, I got a question, like what's going on here, and I think you do a little bit. I mean, I think deservedly so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
I mean, the entire fan base, the team, like this is our franchise goaltender right now. Like,
rest of the trip, you think they go with him or quick one of the next
oh,
two?
well, I guess maybe.
Maybe quick against the Oilers?
Yeah, maybe I could see that.
Just to get him fresh for Monday back at the Garden, don't want to lose in front of the fans.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, obviously you could save quick for that time too, but it just seems like 4-game road trip you would think. But I guess, I mean, just judging by the pattern here, what have they been doing? Like 3 or 4 starts in a row, right?
4 starts, 1. Yep, 3 starts and then 1. 3 starts and then 1. So,
Either
Igor
4 or 3.
So
it's either
maybe
the
he-
whole road trip or St. Louis.
I mean, honestly, I could see quick getting the start for St. Louis back at home. It's the Blues.
Igor fresh for
Like,
Carolina.
exactly, dude. And like, let Igor play Calgary. Let him play Edmonton.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Those are teams you'll be seeing in the playoffs.
Be interesting to see what happens. Speaking of Edmonton, bouncing back 5-2 over the Senators, which is, I know, you don't like seeing Oiler victories, Tony, but I think the Senators, and they were even talking about it. I think you know what it was? I was watching NHL Tonight, and they were talking about how like the Senators need to play better to keep their captain, Brady Tkachuk. So a loss here kind of, moves towards that. And, for the Oilers, I think, we talk about like the Igor roller coaster. It seems like the Oilers are kind of the same way here. But, after a tough start to the season, kind of rounding out here. And always good when you get McDavid with 3 points as well as Draisaitl. So I think a good thing there for the Oilers. The Penguins, same old story, 2-0 lead after 2, blowing it, Tony. And then Braden Point with a goal in the third period in overtime.
Yep, that'll do it.
Send the Penguins home, fans home, not too happy. But you would think, I mean, obviously we're still very early on here, but just like last year when we saw them trade Jake Gensel, who was playing against them last night, that maybe, they would start unloading, may I say, like a Michael Bunting before the trade deadline if things keep progressing this way.
You think so?
Well, I mean, it's like, why would, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's like you need some future assets here. And like, Bunting, like what, I mean, what is he? He's 28, 29 years old.
Yeah.
I just feel like you need to reload a little bit.
No, you're definitely right there, dude. I mean, you're totally right. I mean, the Penguins need a lot more, like help. Like everywhere, like they need more support. I guess maybe one point they don't need is offense. I suppose if you really want to ask me, I would maybe say focus on goaltending and defense. Giving up 2 goals in the third period and then blowing in overtime. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like I know it's the Lightning. I know they're a team that can do those sorts of things, but like you should be better than that.
Yeah,
You know?
no, they're just not playing their best right now. But hey, if they want to get shellacked by the Rangers on the 6th, Tony, we will welcome it. That is for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, dude. I could taste the fish and chips and the Guinness from here. The Wild 4-2 over the Blues, a game that was tied 1 apiece heading into the third, where the Wild score 3 goals. And how about Kaprizov with 2 goals in this one as well? So the Wild moving to 12-3-3. The Blues continuing to struggle, now 8-11. And the Wild were a team that didn't make the playoffs last year. Obviously, off to a good start this season. We mentioned how Zuccarello is not playing. I mean, do you kind of see it now as, they've played 17, 18 games here where, they kind of need to be taken seriously at this point?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like, the Wild have been solid. They've been very decent. They've been competitive. Have had, again, Kaprizov here, youthful talent, clearly, coming into his own now as a great player for the Wild. Their veterans are playing well. Their goaltenders are playing well. Like, certainly are a threatening team, threatening roster. To take care of business against the Blues. Blues, middling team. And to, score 3 in the third, I think speaks volumes to what the Minnesota Wild team could do,
Yeah, and we know what the Winnipeg Jets can do. They
Bang!
won 16 of 19 games to start their season, and putting a beating on the Panthers, which is something I didn't, definitely surprised me. And this was after the Panthers had shut them out, so they returned the favor at home. 6-3 here, Scheifele with the hat trick, and they were talking about the Jets on NHL Tonight as well. And they were talking about how many pucks they give. Like, it's like a segment they do, like, haha. But nobody was really concerned about the Jets. And before this game started, just saying that it's evident that they're one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, dude. I mean, were they saying that they weren't at first taking them seriously?
No. I'm saying they were asking if there's concern because they had played so poorly the previous 2 games.
Oh, no, of course not. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I understand that. The 16-3, I mean, obviously you can't keep that up forever, but I mean, they're another team that has been getting, first round picks for a long time, and they're looking really good now. And Connor Hellebuyck has been a top goaltender for the past few years. Obviously, this is a marquee matchup here, and especially since you think, the first time these two teams faced, Panthers won 5-0. Now, like, Jets come back, win 6-3. I mean, that's what I talked about yesterday. If this were a series, it would be very exact. I mean, and it would continue to be back and forth. Exactly, dude.
But we're gonna make sure that the Florida Panthers do not have a series with the Winnipeg Jets because
that would have to be in the Cup.
Exactly.
They're never going to play again this year at all.
No, that's it.
It's over.
Nope. The Ducks, we talked about the value, Tony. 3-2, 2 third period goals there.
Love that.
So taking out Bedard and the Blackhawks here, 3-2. Dickinson with 2 goals. Killerone had I forgot about that one. Had a goal and an assist here. So, the Ducks, really after being a lackluster team the last couple of years, for their standards and expectations going into the year have played pretty well here at 8-2. Gibson between the pipes, Tony. I know it is just Chicago, but at least it seems like, something is brewing there in Anaheim finally.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you just obviously, you can't take anything for granted here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the Blackhawks. You think, Bedard, the star power, didn't have any goals. Not for nothing.
And I don't know if I'm just looking at stats too much and just expecting the world from the jump. But is it just me, or has Bedard been a little less maybe of an impact? I know he's 19 years old, but just then maybe what everyone was, I feel like the Gretzky meter has went away.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was just so outrageous.
Yeah,
to put that stat up for his first goal. Especially when you have someone like Ovechkin too about it. What the fuck are we even talking about?
Yeah.
That was just prime ESPN, just nonsense. But I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I guess you could say maybe because of the stats, he's not been as overwhelmingly good. But not for nothing. He's on the Blackhawks. There's nothing around him. Like Taylor Hall. Give me a break, dude.
So you're saying get off his back. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I think you put him on a team with, let's say the New York Rangers, for example. He's scoring goals.
So why don't we just make that happen?
Because you
give him Laffy. Who cares? Stop.
It would be way more than just Laffy, dude. Are you kidding me?
No, but I think you still I know it's way more than Laffy, but I still think you wouldn't want to give up Laffy, even though it's.
I don't want to give up Laffy though.
I can't believe not even for Bedard though.
But if it's straight up, maybe, sure.
Maybe, sure.
Well, because again, I mean, not for nothing. Like Bedard's, I mean, I suppose the young talent, you put him on the team, it's great. Chicago, whatever, New York, that's crazy. It'd be a crazy trade. It'd be a crazy move. It's never gonna happen.
I think though, is it just me though? And again, I know it feels like sometimes I'm overcritical here, but that we need to do a better job in drafting, or no? I know there's been some picks that have been good, but it's like I feel like where's that like, oh my God, like this guy, like, you know what I mean? I know not always picking at the top of drafts, but when we did,
No, you're right. I mean, you think of Lafreniere, you think of Kako.
I mean, at least Lafreniere, we could say, okay, it's
but still,
fine.
It's not,
it seems like he was more like the 10th to 15th pick, not the first pick.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's very hard to pick in the NHL draft. I mean, it's like baseball. I guess
somebody's got to do it, though, right?
Somebody's got to do it. That's right. But I mean, not for nothing. You are picking guys who are 18 years old who like, and not for nothing, like you draft a guy, he goes to college, he plays in college for 4 years, or he comes into the league and you have to develop him that way. It's tough, dude. And it's interesting because I mean that's just the way the sport's been going, where it's a young man's sport for sure. I mean we're seeing these 18-year-olds getting drafted. You look at our boy for Seattle, obviously Bedard as well. It's interesting, but I don't know. I mean, I think it comes down to it. I mean, good teams, good championship teams, they draft really well. So
is Peralt going to be that guy?
He's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Gabe Peralt.
What is he a forward?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, you want to see more of that because it just I think that's what the Rangers really need, that homegrown star to take them back to the promised land. But we mentioned this before the show. The Islanders, another heartbreaker here, losing in a shootout in Calgary 2-1. They had Palmieri and Horvat, getting their chance in the shootout, but coming up empty. And then Kuzmenko and Kirkland doing the job for Calgary here. So the Islanders now 7-5. So yet again, the overtime losses coming into play. I mean, I have to ask the question. I mean, it's like, do they need like a special like shootout coach or something, Tony? I mean,
they're just a bad team, dude. I mean, that's really what it is at the end of the day. I mean, they're not good.
Why the favorite to be fired next year?
Must be, right? I mean,
you look at the track record too.
Of Waz coaching?
Colorado, I think he even won Coach of the Year first year, make the playoffs. They don't the next few years, fired, comes in, Islanders just get in. I don't know. Maybe it's too soon to say that. I mean, I guess he hasn't even been there, for a year. But it just doesn't seem like it's trending in the right direction. And I know maybe he doesn't exactly have the horses, but it just seems like it's the same thing.
I mean, I guess so, but like, don't they have the fucking horses? I mean, there is talent on this team. Bo Horvat is a good player. Obviously, you're dealing with Barzal's injury.
But obviously,
that sucks.
He is a good player when he's playing.
Yeah, exactly. He's good when he's playing. Jean-Gabriel Prideaux is probably he's someone who I probably would not have traded for.
Sucks.
Everyone else is old. Brock Nelson had a career year the past couple,
Matt
last
Martin's
season.
back.
Matt Martin's like, give me a fucking break. Like, there's things that the GM could improve here for sure, but you have talent. Like, Noah Dobson is a youthful talent that obviously should be a big player here. And not for nothing, like, your goaltender's great too.
Varlamov's almost playing better than Sorokin.
Like,
really.
He's playing really well.
It's like
dude.
A quick situation.
Yeah, no, it really is, dude. I mean, both your tenders are pretty solid, I suppose. So it's like, it's just, the 2-0 loss in the shootout, dude. That's what the story, they just cannot close games, the overtime losses, the shootout losses, the third period blowing it, dude. And, like, come on, dude. Like, the Flames are a team that struggled, too, this year. They've been struggling the past couple seasons, this year, last year, not living up to the hype. And you can't fucking score in the first period on them? It's, like, ridiculous, dude. So, I don't know. I think that if I'm Patrick Waugh, I mean, I guess maybe it's his fault because you have the talent. You should fucking fire it up. Like,
yeah,
you got to fire your team up, dude. You got to do something to make them play better. Like Brock Nelson, I know he's old. He's not even that old. He's 33, 34.
Yeah. Like, it's like not that you should be first in the East, but you should be better than 500.
Yeah, dude. You should be beating the Flames is what you should be doing.
So, that's an interesting, thing to monitor.
Yeah, it is.
So we do have a few games tonight here. Actually a TNT doubleheader: Hurricanes at Flyers, and the Predators at Kraken.
Lightning in a bottle, Tony.
Do you think Torts will have the sweatshirt on again?
I mean, listen, that seems to be a theme with him now, dude. It wasn't the first time, dude. And it's so funny too because I saw some guy complaining about how like the post game conference, he has like he's wearing that black hoodie,
right?
And the backdrop, he's on his black, so it literally blends right in. It looks like he's just like a floating head in this post game conference. Like so funny.
He's
dude.
doing that on purpose.
He definitely is doing it on purpose, dude. He's a petty guy.
Who's lasting longer at their posts, him or what?
Him, Tortorella for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it almost made the playoffs last year. Teetering this year. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like speaking of a team not having horses, I feel like the Flyers don't have the horses.
Yeah.
Islanders, Wash should be doing better.
Whatever happened to Carter Hart?
I'm pretty sure he was in like that sexual allegation thing.
Did
Was
they
he not,
release
dude?
him?
I don't know, dude.
Because remember, I don't know if it was last year or the year before.
It was last year. He was having a great year, dude.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I guess they cut him.
They did. They cut him because of
Yeah.
it.
He has a trial
Unrestricted
in
free
April.
agent.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, it was just last year. I mean, you're talking about the future of an organization.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I guess he hasn't even been in the United States.
Wow.
Extradited back to Canada.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't really hear that story.
6
too
days
much.
ago, well, I guess because the trial hasn't happened except for April.
No, but I didn't even hear about the release or anything.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I guess everyone kind of wanted to keep this under wraps a little bit.
Yeah. But what a crazy story.
Oh my God, terrible.
Yeah, waste. But that being said, some games to pick. So let's do a Wednesday edition, Tony, of the Frozen Frenzy.
Hump day, Josh B. Let's freaking go, dude. By the way, Josh B. ignored our initial parlay. Did take Flames. Huberdeau anytime goal. Huberdeau did not score.
What do you know?
So I mean, that's still my fault. My bad. I don't know. I got to be more careful for what I say, I suppose. But nonetheless, here let's get the frenzy going here around the NHL. We're gonna be starting on our usual time. I guess maybe a little bit later, 7:30, ESPN Plus, Scotiabank Arena, Toronto, taking on the Golden Knights here. Jack Eichel, Mitch Marner, highlighted players for each team. Eichel, 28 points in the season. I mean, he's off to a good start. 23 of those points, though, coming from assists. So should be pretty interesting to see how his season progresses. The Knights, speaking of, plus 105, tight dogs in the money line. Over under is 5.5, Brian. Maple Leafs on the 2-game win streak, beating Washington, beating Edmonton, both in overtime. So what do you say here, dude?
Yeah, this is tough. I don't know about you, Tony, but I feel like this is two teams that are kind of tough to figure out. I mean, we know they're good, but it's like they're not locks. Like when they're playing, they can lose to any team at the same time.
That's right.
So it's kind of odd. And the Knights, have been mediocre on the road. The Maple Leafs have been strong at home. And it's amazing too. The Maple Leafs, they were talking about this on NHL tonight, last night as well, how Matthews hasn't played since the first week of this month, but yet they've won 7 out of 8 or something like that. So and then it's then are they due to lose? But then we saw the Knights, with that disappointing loss last time out. So I feel like I find myself going back and forth with this one. But I guess I'm gonna stick with the Leafs just because they played well at home. And I just think the Knights' inconsistencies on the road, send me in that direction. I think this is going to be a close game. I think a shootout game. But Mitch Marner, the hero, I'm going to say 4-3 Maple Leafs and the over.
That is a tough call here. Great matchup here between two teams, like you were saying, Brian. It could go either way, just like you were saying, Brian. I'm going to sway in the way of the visiting team here, the Knights. I just feel like night in, night out, no pun intended, I think
Definitely.
they are a better team. And, you want Mitch Marner to be the player. I want Jack Eichel to be the player.
28 points, but only 5 goals somewhere.
Give me the hat trick tonight, making 8 goals on the season. Let's go. Book it, baby. Knights win this one. I'll say 5-3. Knights and the over. Next game still 7:30. TNT, part of the doubleheader. Leg number 1 here in Philly. Speaking of torch, the Flyers against the Canes. Obviously here, Brian, the Hurricanes minus 225. The heavy favorites. Torts, you mentioned potentially on the hot seat. They just dropped the game in Colorado. We're on the 3-game win streak, though. A little bit of a reset. The Hurricanes, obviously good at 13-4. Haven't seen any OT games yet. Maybe that'd be a little foreshadow for tonight, but they're on the 2-game win streak right now, scoring 8 goals in 2 games, only giving up 1 goal in those past 2 games. Does that continue tonight?
Yeah, and it's interesting, the Flyers, we just talked about kind of a mediocre team right now, but they did give Colorado a run for their money last time out, really put a scare into them, the empty net at the end. But I just still feel like even being at home, the place where they actually haven't played well, 4-5, the Hurricanes are just better. So I expect them to win, and sure, they did beat St. Louis and Ottawa 8-1 combined last 2 games, lost to Utah before that. So, they don't always have their best foot forward, but at the same time, winning 13 out of 17 to start your season is where you want to be. So I think this is a 4-1 victory for Carolina. I'm going to say Carolina and the under. Nikos with the hat trick, Tony.
Ooh, I do like that. Nikos with a hat trick. He's been great so far, 30 points on the year. The thing of the last 2 times these 2 teams faced each other, Hurricanes won 6-4, but Sam Ersson did not get the start. I think he gets the start here and surprises the Flyers fan base as well as the Hurricanes here as he pitches the shutout. I think Travis, our boy, Konechny over here, gets the lone goal. Flyers win this one, 1-0. Tortorella is still tight. Value bet there, plus 190 Flyers. Let's fucking go, dude. Flyers in the under. Next game here, 8 p.m. later time slot, going to Dallas. American Airlines Center as the Stars at 11-6-0, taking on the visiting San Jose Sharks, who are 6-10-4, Brian. Needless to say, the Sharks are the dogs. Look at this, baby. Plus 340 the money line. Dallas is minus 450. I mean, if you're not betting for the underdog, why even bet on this game here? Over-under is 6.5. Stars, winners of 3 of the last 5. Sharks just beat the Detroit Red Wings 5-4 in overtime. So maybe a little offensive spurt, get something going tonight, dude?
And also you look at those past 5 games, while they've only won 2 of them, they've all been decided by 1 goal.
How about that?
The Stars last time out, they had won 3 in a row, but get tripped up by Anaheim at home. Did they lose again as the heavy favorite to a mediocre team? They do, Tony. I don't care about Duchesne, okay? I think that
Granlund?
Is going to have a 2-goal and 1-assist game. Give Toffoli a goal as well. And I'm going to say the Sharks, a 1-goal victory here. I'm going to say 3-2. So the Sharks in the under, the huge upset. Plus 340. No, I can't do it.
I'm not going to do it, dude. Give me the
Something
Stars.
burning, by the way?
Could be maybe next door. They're heating something in the toaster oven.
Probably Renee setting the place on fire.
Yep. I'm going to go with the Stars here. I just think it's chalk here. Yes, it lost to Anaheim, but it's the great reset for the Dallas Stars. They come out firing. They beat Boston 7-2. They beat San Jose Sharks by the same score, 7-2. No fucking shark bite. Let's go next game here. Dwindling down, 10 p.m. The late show as the Seattle Kraken take on the Predators of Nashville, who will be having a tough time this season at 6-10-3. They're minus 130, over under 5.5. Predators here beat Vancouver 5-3. Kraken, we know, just got shut out by the Rangers 2-0. But before that, winners of 4 in a row. Kraken get right spot. This is the second leg of the doubleheader. HBO Max, TNT, big game, Seattle. What do you got?
Yeah, this is tough. I'm not really a big fan of either team, Tony. But I guess I'm going to actually go with the Predators. And again, track record not good, but I'm thinking maybe the grizzled vets, turning back the clock, Forsberg, Stamkos, and I'm going to say the Predators squeak one out here. I'm going to say 2-1. So the Predators in the under, Stamkos with both goals.
I love that sentiment right there. I think Stamkos deserves it. The Predators deserve a win here. They're a better team than the record shows it, I believe. Just need to find themselves here. And I love it. Starting with Stamkos, 2 goals. Let's go Predators, dude. Last game, best game, late game, 10:30 p.m. Are you staying up for it? Crypto.com Arena, dude. The Kings taking on the Sabres. East meets West in this matchup. Buffalo plus 130. The money line over under here for the total is 5.5 here. Kings, like many other teams, coming off a win against the Detroit Red Wings. Sabres, watch out, dropping their game to the Flyers a few days ago. They haven't played in 4 days for Buffalo. Interesting. I guess neither of the Kings. So what do you think here of this matchup? East, West, 2 well-rested teams.
Yeah, so the Kings won last time out back on October 10th in Buffalo. So I think Buffalo returning the favor here. I'm going to say Tage Thompson is on IR, but is he coming back? I just want to check this real quick. He's maybe an option, so we don't know if he's an option. That changed my mind, so I'm doing a complete 180 here. I don't like a banged-up Thompson, Tony. So the Crypto.com, those cheap tickets, the fans are jacked up. Kopitar, dude. I'm going to say Kings. 3-2 here. Kings and the under.
I love Kings. I love the under. I think they shut out the Sabres here. Kopitar, Byfield, the 2 goals for the Kings. They win 2-0. There we go, dude.
Just like that. That is your Wednesday Frozen Frenzy, Tony.
How about that? That's good frenzy.
How about that? Now, how are you feeling after? I was just thinking about this. The 2 periods with the Rangers. We kind of had talked about that yesterday. How did it play out? Was there a run this morning?
No run this morning.
Were you beat?
Yeah, yeah.
You're shot right now.
Shot. So shot, dude. Boom.
Hey, but you got the win, right?
Yeah, no, we did it. We did it. We got the win, dude. So we got the win.
Did you expect to wake up with the win?
No.
I
tried to stay up. You know, I knew it was a tie game. I tried to stay up, but I just fucking fell asleep.
No,
and
it's funny. I went to bed with the score tied as well. And I don't know. You ever have this thing where, like, you're not sure if you're dreaming or not, and for some reason I had it in my head that I had already checked the score and they lost. So I'm going to check this morning, and I'm expecting to see the loss and the win. I was like, great.
Yeah,
This
like
is awesome.
4-3. Wow, one more goal. Like, that was it, dude. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so, hey, good to get the win.
Great to get
West
the win.
Coast games. Let's get them on the weekend, though, next time if we could.
Please.
And just a couple quick things here. The Celtics handing the Cavs their first loss of the season here, 120-117. So the magical run over, but this was a great game, and who knows? This is a matchup that we may see down the road, and it may be good for the Cavs because when you're playing, trying to avoid that first loss of the season, you kind of play a little tight, now things are a little different where you're one of the best teams, but you don't have that pressure every night of winning.
Yeah, dude, you don't have that pressure?
Well, I'm saying because you don't have to keep the win streak going. It's obviously you're trying to win every game, but I'm saying I think there's additional pressure when you're trying to keep a winless streak alive.
No, I get that, but I mean, don't you think that there's going to be a high bar set though for the rest of the season?
It's a sigh of relief. You play your game. Coaches tell you all the time. Jeez, Tony, trying to make a good point here. You're just thinking about what's for dinner over there. Okay.
I know what's for dinner, dude.
Chop meat, dude.
Chop meat, dude.
Is
The
it
rice, dude. Yeah, that's it, dude.
That's
Let's go.
hilarious.
Chop
dude.
meat, dude.
So we saw that. We mentioned the Laker win, and then also we do have the Knicks back in action tonight, part of an ESPN doubleheader. You got Bulls Bucks at 7:30, and then the late game, the Knicks in Arizona. Facing off against the Suns. So the Knicks, winners of 3 straight, 5.5-point road favorites here in Phoenix. No Bradley Beal for the Suns here.
We got Buck to call in again. You want to take it?
Tell him he's got 30 seconds.
All right, hold on.
Matthew Ryan.
By. Matthew Ryan. Oh, almost lost him. All right, Buck, to hold on 1 second. Just patching you through. Let's see. Go. Buckta. Buckta.
Hey guys, how about that Dalton Connect guy last night?
Unreal, Michael. Unreal.
Like you're getting the jersey. You're buying the jersey.
Barnes. He scored 21 points in one quarter. One single quarter.
I don't know, Michael.
21
I mean, I feel like I kind of alluded to this. I feel like you were a little down on the Lakers going into the year, and here we are, 7-0 at home, 10-4. Not too shabby.
I mean, hey. Also, you've got to give some credit to JJ Redick.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of critics regarding Redick, but I think he set the tone, and he's putting the Lakers in position to win. How about that LeBron throwdown, huh?
And then how about him going nuts on the sideline when Dalton's just popping off?
Yeah. And D'Angelo Russell,
so
I mean, I think let's just get him out of town at this point. I mean, moving to the bench has been good, but I think let's get him further off the roster, no?
Wait, why?
Russell? I mean, I just feel like he hasn't been playing well, no?
I mean, just don't forget, he did have that 44-point game against the Bucks last year.
Last year, Michael, but I mean, I've always liked him, but it just seems like he might need a change of scenery, and especially with Connect eating up all of his minutes, it might not be a bad idea.
I mean, but who would we get, Barnes?
I don't think it matters, honestly. I think anybody.
A fourth, fifth round pick?
No, I mean, there's only 2 rounds in the draft, but.
Sorry, 2 rounds?
Yeah, but no, I would say just another player, maybe somebody who has like a decent sized contract as well. Just a thought there, Michael. Just something to consider.
Yeah, well, I do like him though. I do like D'Lo.
I mean, I always liked him, but I guess it's time to turn it up. Yeah, we'll see.
And all I can tell you is that Dolan and I are going to be having a blast at Disneyland, going on all the ride, eating all the food, taking selfies.
There he is. Michael, what's your prediction for your Pittsburgh Steelers tomorrow?
Great question.
Well, that's a good question. I don't want them to crash and burn.
You what?
I don't want them to crash and burn.
Oh no! Of course not. Of course.
So
not.
I'm saying, but what do you expect
are
to
you
see?
are you worried about
You're
the
worried
matchup
about
against
the
the Browns? I mean, the defense could be good, but you would imagine the Steelers. I don't know.
Defense would be great.
Great,
That.
exactly. It's just a matter of Russell Wilson can score and.
The Steelers are known for, Barnes, losing to bad teams on the
Short
road.
week.
On the road, he's saying.
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they win by multiple touchdowns, to be honest.
Well, they have one loss on the road, and it looks like it was against the Colts. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe what Michael is saying isn't entirely out of pocket.
But the Browns in shambles.
I know the Browns are in shambles.
Yeah. So I'll believe it when I see it. But so you're thinking the loss here, Michael.
The thing is, I'm thinking a win, but
He's worried.
not by a lot.
Yeah,
Field goal.
He's worried. Trepidatious.
Maybe another 6 field goals for Boswell.
Oh, well, I mean, good for him.
No, I'm thinking a 4-point win.
All right. We'll take your word. We'll keep that in mind making our picks tomorrow, Michael. That's
Dude. Maybe Michael knows a little something.
I will stay tuned and see what you guys got to say.
Sounds good, brother.
Sounds good, Michael. Have a great day, dude.
Yeah, we appreciate you calling in.
Coors and Barnes, just one more thing. If you're still there,
Yeah,
we're here.
You're wide open, right? Let's go.
What do you got?
I'll be thinking of you guys when I'm on those rides at Disneyland getting tossed upside down.
Aw, thanks, Michael.
I'll be thinking of Barnes, especially you, man.
Especially you, dude.
Especially me, man. That we appreciate it, Michael. We appreciate the call, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Peace.
All right.
Thank you, Michael. So the great Michael Bucket there. The great Tommy Donovan said that court for the Celtics game was gross. Yeah, the courts with the cup, we get it.
It's so dumb, dude.
A gimmick. The gimmicks.
How about Buckner saying that he thinks the Steelers are going to win by 4?
A little pessimism there for Michael.
I mean, not for nothing though, but like, is he looking at the spread? Because the spread's -4. Like,
yeah, he's being very coy.
He is being very coy. He knows a thing or two.
I was just gonna ask: is there gaming corner tonight?
Gaming corner tonight, yes. Locked in, Joey, Michael, I. Probably doing some switch, dude.
Some switch, some
strikers,
cart, dude.
Some cart, some smash.
But I
Bros.
think actually recently, like if you're playing the switch, it's a striker night or no?
That's right. It is typically the striker night, the soccer game, very hot online play, highly competitive. Brian, there's some people out there that are really good.
7:30,
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. So
7 p.m.,
set your alarms.
That's right, dude.
Yeah, that about does it here.
What a show.
But what a show, what a life. We really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives in the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee,
The bread, right?
and Jay in costume, the merch at downtown.tv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy Gaming Corner, and we will see you.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.